So, Erik with a K. I've been told you're a storyteller. If you had to define your best story in one word, what would it be?
Energetic.
Okay, thank you. Where are you from?
Born all the way on the other side of the Atlantic, Colombia. But raised in Sweden. And if you ask me where I'm from, I'm many times saying I am here and I feel like I'm a child of no nation, and where I'm at right now is where I'm from.
Okay. Where did you study? And if you studied at university, which one?
I did study in Switzerland and in the US. I was studying at La Roche University, hospitality management.
And what do you do professionally?
I encourage people to get out there and do what they believe in by telling their story and connecting to themselves as a human.
Why did you decide to become an advisor for a homeless entrepreneur? And what impact would you like to make through this collaboration?
I decided to be supporting homeless entrepreneurs, to give a voice to these people out there that are on the brink on giving up on who they are. But I really decided to give this support to homeless entrepreneurs because I'm so frustrated about that there's a society out there that think it's normal that there are people sleeping on the streets and eating out of garbage bins. And people even ignore these human beings that are walking around there barefoot on the streets. I just feel like it's gotta be more to life than thinking that that's normal.
What was your perception of people experiencing homelessness before you became part of Homeless Entrepreneur?
First, I've been very close myself a number of times. I have been living around the world and I have never been financially supported by my parents. But I always had this desire to do what I wanted to do. To do that, I had to scrap my own money together. So my own experience is sleeping on benches, sleeping on airports, and I just feel there when I'm walking down the street sometimes, when I come into this point in my entrepreneurial journey that I almost have no money. I'm looking to these people and thinking, that could be me very, very soon.
And how has your perception evolved throughout the experience as an advisor for a homeless entrepreneur? Because I understand you've been working closely with Ajmal, for example.
It's an extreme admiration for the resilience, but also for the purpose of why some people are and have put themselves in this situation, for the cause of supporting family members, for the cause of doing their job to help somebody else.
And what kind of advice do you provide to homeless entrepreneur as an advisor?
To tell their story, to own their story. This is their story. This is who they are. But they can choose who they want to become, and they can choose who they want to be in any very moment, and stand up for that. The world will listen.
How important is it to receive good advice to reach one's desired goals?
Wait, repeat that?
How important is it to be advised properly to help us reach our goals?
And advice is always going to be something based on my own perception, right? Meaning it's an advice. The other person always have to be able to interpret and read that as he or she would like to do. But I believe it's such a huge responsibility when we do give advice that we do put ourselves aside and try to really empathize with the other person and look ahead. As if that person says he or she wants to go to the moon, it's to try to kind of consider and figure out, how can I support this person to go to the moon? Instead of sitting there saying it's going to be impossible because it's so difficult. That's just based on your own limiting beliefs.
What professional milestone of yours are you the proudest of? And why?
Oh, this is a good one. The most proudest milestone of mine. Keeping to my purpose, keeping to my entrepreneurial journey through COVID, really hitting a period of complete confusion, no work. I was crying at home in my bed and just wondering, is this it? But then right there, getting this epiphany of, what do you want to be remembered for? And that question helped me get up and keep going. Most of all, keep believing. I'm very proud of that.
Thank you. And regarding social media like LinkedIn or Instagram, how important are these tools for you to grow professionally and reach your own professional goals?
In today's very digital world, it's essential.
Very clear and to the point. What challenges and benefits do you have as an advisor for a homeless entrepreneur?
Challenges? People listen and they are clicking the like buttons and they're saying, oh my God, we need to help them. But then when it comes to actually doing something, my goodness, it is so difficult to activate people to actually do that. That would be the number one challenge.
And the biggest benefit?
That I'm waking up in the morning and feeling that I'm contributing to something bigger than myself.
And here's a question, because we know each other a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, there is some connection between homelessness, homeless entrepreneur, and your story. What was your first experience with homelessness?
The way I understood it and the way I interpret it is my adoption. That the story that I've been living for about 30 years sounded, I was given away by my mom. And that story was not an empowering one. So that was I didn't think of that as homeless or anything. And the same thing as growing up in Sweden with my adopted family. I didn't think of that as homeless. But now, hearing what you said to me, or not to me, hearing what you told this group of master's executives about homelessness, is this feeling of not feeling at home. And growing up since I was very, very little, and always wondering, why am I here? Why does nobody want me? Although I'm sleeping in a perfectly fine home in Sweden.
Well, you know, going from the micro of that moment at a very young age to now, which is, you know, a globetrotter that's seeing the world.
Yeah.
If you could propose a specific action that would be on the front page of international press, what would it be? What would the headline be?
Encourage people to stand up for who they are, believe in themselves, and go out there and be all this beauty that they have.
Sounds like a good article that I would read. Regarding the interaction that you've had, specifically with Ajmal, because he's the first person that you've worked with,
Yeah.
What moment sticks out the most to you?
The moment when he told me that he walked from Pakistan. That was the moment I just stopped myself and just like, what on earth am I actually experiencing? And then I asked him, why? Why did you come to this decision that I would walk? And it's this, you know, this decision to leave family and friends and walk somewhere else in the world. and for the purpose of contributing to the life of his family and being able to be alive. That changed a lot.
Thank you. Regarding our community at Homeless Entrepreneur, would you recommend other professionals to join our board of advisors, if you will, our community of advisors? And if so, why?
And in this case, you consider me as one of the advisors, correct?
Yes, you're one of the advisors.
Yeah, I would say consider what it is that you're contributing to in this world. But join this board of advisors if you're clear or that you're coming from a state of contribution, genuine contribution, not to gain something out of this.
And the last question is always a call to action.
Okay.
If you could invite future advisors for Homeless Entrepreneur to collaborate specifically with your project and what you're doing to make it even more amazing than it is, beyond incredible, what would you say? What would your call to action be?
Let's make life very enjoyable.
Keep it simple. Sounds good. Thank you, Erik.
Yo, welcome. Good?
Yeah.
All right.
That was easy, man.
All right. Tough questions.
Ok, Mackey. Muchas gracias.
Good questions. Very good questions.